Good afternoon. I'm sitting here with Gerry Labelle in his kitchen. Gerry, thank you so much for accepting to meet with us.
You're welcome. You're a good salesman.
Oh, yes, I am, if I need to be. But you're an important person, and we really appreciate you accepting. And so I need to ask you, what path led you to work at Laurentian University?
Well, firstly, I went to University of Ottawa and graduated with my Bachelor of Commerce. And then obviously I was interested in accounting, profession of accounting. So I had to work in public accounting for 2 years to article there in order to get the CPA or the CA designation, which is now a CPA. And I worked up in Timmins with Collins Barrow at the time, and graduated there, and then worked there for 5 years. Then left the public accounting to go work at the Porcupine Health Unit. So I was director of finance at the health unit for 2 years. And then my wife at the time had no relatives in Timmins, and she had relatives in Sudbury, and she wanted to move back to Sudbury or move to Sudbury. And I kind of liked the idea of moving to Sudbury. So we moved to Sudbury, and here I started working for the Ontario Resource Technology Centre, which is basically a Schedule II Crown corporation of the province. And it was a venture capital corporation. Very, very interesting work. And it was an association that was put together by Bill Davis under the Blue Fund or whatever it was called. I can't remember the exact definition. But unfortunately, another color got into power and actually consolidated the Resource Technology Centre into the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund. So that kind of closed down. I was offered a job at but something came up at Laurentian, and that's where I started my career at Laurentian.
Well, Gerry, I'm so happy that you decided to make Sudbury your home.
Yes.
So welcome to Sudbury.
Thank you very much. Really enjoyed being here.
It's a great place to live.
It is.
Now, moving on, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about the different areas you worked. And we know that lifelong learning is so important. So could you speak to that?
Yes, certainly. As part of the CA designation, as part of the requirements, we have to continue our education. And there's an actual report that we had to submit every June as to what educational facilities or courses we took, in order to, get better at what we're doing. And I graduated in 1979, so technology, computers was just evolving. And so there was a lot of automation that happened in that time, within the accounting profession and within the accounting software itself and the functionality of the software. So I spent an awful lot of time working and learning new software, new ways of doing things and whatnot. And one of the major challenges I found with continuing learning is like drinking out of a fire hose, because technology changes so often and so fast. Yeah. So, one of the major things that we had a problem with was switching from one system to another. Like when I first started working at Laurentian, our computer systems just for the finance system was the size of 2 refrigerators.
Wow.
And now it's the size of a laptop computer. Basically, that's what it is.
And it does more.
An awful lot more,
Yeah.
When I graduated at Laurentian from Ottawa U back in '79. The computer language I learned was Fortran, with What 4, What 5, and then we got into where you had these, the cards you have to fit into the system, and so we went from cradle all the way to, from cradle all the way up to where we are today.
Right.
Certainly, there's a lot to learn.
Yes, and so lifelong learning is a must, especially in your field.
It certainly is, because it changes. It changes drastically. One other system that made us change a lot was this whole Y2K phenomenon that happened.
Oh, yes, I remember.
All of the computer systems didn't think they'd ever get into the 20th century, and so we had a lot of challenges trying to adapt to that, But we had a lot to learn for sure.
Sounds exciting.
It was challenging. Yes, it was. Absolutely. I enjoyed it. I really did. And the people we had at Laurentian in the computer services department were certainly very, very helpful. And they were very progressive in helping us, do things the way we wanted to do them and to do away with the status quo. A lot of the time people say, well, we've always done it this way. And, my challenge is I always challenge them to say, well, that doesn't mean we can't change. And let's see what we can do, to get rid of the non-value added work that's out there.
All the work you did, I'm sure there were many rewards. Could you
Absolutely.
speak a little bit to that? And you did mention a little bit of not the struggles, but the challenges that you met throughout your career.
Well, a lot of the challenges were financial challenges, of course, because, being a public institution, the money coming in certainly was limited and was scheduled by the province beyond our control. So there's a lot of things that we had to do to try to eliminate and in order to find the money to do certain things. And one of the challenges are to tell people, like a lot of the people would blame finance. Well, you guys waste money on this and not on that. And you try to explain to them, yeah, it's okay, but we have to do everything. We can't just do one side of the house, just the academic side.
That's right.
The administrative side of the house needs certain resources also.
Yes.
And so the challenges we're trying to explain to them so that they understand where we're coming from. And quite frankly, when you sit down with people and do that and take the time to do it, they kind of come around and say, yes, I see your point of view. So which is great.
Well, that was great that they'd see your point of view. That can be hard as well.
Well, there were some who didn't.
Now, moving forward, you're retired.
I am.
And you're enjoying retirement.
Certainly.
But I know you're involved in the community. Could you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, certainly. And certainly when you retire, like I retired, I was young, but you'd like to keep your foot in the door somewhere and whatever. So right after I retired, I had applied for a position on the audit committee of the hospital, HSN. And
okay.
I was there for 2 terms, which that's the limit. You can only be there for 2 terms, which was nice. I would have liked to stay longer, but it was fun. It was good. Very, 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 very interesting. And so I was there for 2 years. And then I went to, after that was finished, I went to the French language public board on their audit committee.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
I was there for 6 years. Theirs were 2 terms of 3 years. I was there for 6 years. And again, that was good. That was very interesting.
I was Conseil du Grand Nord.
Exactement.
Yes.
And after that, I went to Greater Sudbury Utilities and Greater Sudbury Hydro. Mm-hmm. And I was there for 12 years, which, was a great experience. It was very, with all the changes that had happened with the hydro and how they're doing things and whatnot. And it was very, very interesting. I really enjoyed it. And but after 12 years, I figured, well, that's enough.
Wow.
Give somebody else a chance. So it was good.
Well, I see that your life journey continued, and that's also because of the experience you had during your work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
definitely.
Because you do learn all through the work, and then if you can continue and be supportive in other ways.
You're absolutely right. When you start talking about, like at Laurentian, we had a lot of big projects and whatnot and I was always involved with the building and planning people and determining how, putting out tenders and stuff like that through the purchasing office. And so it was very interesting. So that when I was at the hydro, they did certain things like that too. I kind of knew what I was doing, because it wasn't new to me. So it was fun.
It was not just crunching numbers.
No,
definitely a lot of other things as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Risk management and all those things.
Yes.
And, obviously it was great.
What advice would you give to the younger generation?
Oh my gosh, I could be here for two days telling you, but no, I think people. One of the major things that I found that people coming in sometimes thought that they knew a lot, and it's all theory, it's not practice. So, to the younger generations, listen, ask questions, and communicate.
What would you do different? And what did you value the most?
Do differently. I guess I'm a straight shooter. I call a spade, and sometimes, not on purpose, but it comes across as being a little too, direct, I guess. And I guess I could learn to become a little bit more sensitive in that way. What did I enjoy the most is the people that I came across working in those various organizations. It's, people skills are great, and I met an awful lot of great people, a lot of great friends. Even after I've been retired for 14 years, I still get together. We're actually getting together on Friday morning for breakfast with 7 or 8 of us who used to work at Laurentian and whatnot. So, it's certainly the people that you get to meet throughout your working career is very precious, very precious.
Okay, well, it was really nice talking with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.